I have a question.
Mhm.
What's something that's very important that we should be doing that most people probably are not doing?
Collaboration, cooperation. We shall say it again. We shall say it as often as we must, with great love to you. For there is nothing greater that you can do than to look upon the other beings as well as the other plants and animals, beings as well, not just humans, and to see the opportunities to work cooperatively.
Hey there, beautiful souls. It's your girl, Allie, and we are back at it again for another episode of Living Life Consciously. Today, we have special guests lined up for you, and we are stoked to get started. So without further ado, Justin, say hey.
Hey there, Cosmic Thrill Seekers. I'm Justin, and this is Living Life Consciously, where we explore the extraordinary, ride the waves of inspiration, and embark on an adventure of limitless curiosity together. And Leslie, you want to say hi?
Hi, I'm your co-host Leslie, also known as Light Being Love, an eternal spiritual being having a temporary human experience, and I'm glad to be here now. And here's Chris, my girl.
Hi everyone, I'm Chris, also known as Silver Girl. I'm a recent experiencer, contactee, having my awakening since 2022, and I'm happy to be here today. Passing it over to Tom and AJ.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tom.
And I'm AJ, and together we represent Speaking from Source. We're intuitive channels, and we're delighted to be with you today to bring forward the messages of the guides at this important time of awakening for you all.
Absolutely. We're excited too. And Tom and AJ have been on the show before. So if you have not seen that video, please go back into the archives and check it out. But for the audience that may not be familiar with them, Thomas Workman and AJ Cavanagh are intuitive channels and the co-founders of Speaking from Source. Since meeting each other in 2016, Thomas and AJ discovered their unique ability to simultaneously channel a collective of non-physical beings they call the Guides, which are a group of angels, ascended masters, native ancestors, elementals, intergalactic and interdimensional beings who speak with one voice from the universal mind. These divine beings share messages for the expansion of revolution of humanity and focus their teaching on helping humans achieve a more consistent state of joy in their lives. Through Speaking from Source, Thomas and AJ's mission is to share the wisdom of the guides with as many people as possible. They also offer individual, private, and group channeling sessions with the guides who answer your most important questions. Speaking from Source offers weekly emails with brief messages of wisdom from the guides and a monthly online interactive channeling they call Conversations with Source. Tom and AJ, thank you so much for returning and for coming back on the show again. We are excited to have you here.
We're delighted to be here.
We had such a good time last time with you all, and we really resonated with you and your audience. And so
Yay.
we're delighted to be back for more.
Awesome.
We're excited.
Yes.
We got the whole crew ready for this conversation today, guys. Leslie, you want to kick us off?
Sure. I don't know. I don't want to ask any questions because I want to save those for the guides, I feel like. So Tom and AJ.
We kind of feel the same way. We're like, well, we could answer, but you'd rather hear it from them.
So we do a meditation with you first. Is that right?
Yeah, we do an invocation. And I'll tell you, we used to think this was just for us. It was just to bring us into trance so that we could begin channeling. We now feel the guides all the time. But what we've learned is that there's an energetic shift that happens when they come in, and the energy is fairly intense. I know some of you have experienced that, but we've had listeners on podcasts like this, so they weren't even in the room, who we had someone say, I was getting heart palpitations, and others who just sort of like, I felt like I was that stereo ad. So we're learning that the invocation's for all of us. It's to help us all adjust our energies. And interestingly enough, the guides have taught us an awful lot lately about that energy adjustment using our chakras. So you'll actually hear me go through, and your listeners are invited to use similar meditation themselves, because it's quite powerful as we go through energy shifts. Just sort of really getting your energy alignment so that you can take in and process the energies that are available to you.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, that you raised, Leslie, with the meditation, because, we often get carried away with our mind and thinking about things and ascension and what's going to happen and, the questions that we're going to ask of the guides. And yet, as spiritual beings having a temporary human experience, we have this inbuilt energetic system within us that is also able to receive, much like an antenna. And so, as you're watching your consciousness, as you're tuning your mind, you're also tuning your body, because it is perfectly designed as a spiritual vessel as well. And so, you can walk into a room and you don't have to think anything or do anything, but your body will react to that environment, and it will send messages to your brain to say, hey, there was a party in here, or there was an argument in here, or something like that. And that's sort of the conscious awareness that we're coming into, this heightened state of being. And it happens through your mind, through your body, through your chakras, and through your intentions. So it's an interesting sort of precipice that we're on right now of awakening.
If there were a bumper sticker, it would say, there's a chakra for that.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one, yeah.
You should totally make that a sticker, and
Absolutely.
you should make that a sticker and sell it as merch or something. That's great.
I think we're going to be doing that.
Awesome.
Give us a month.
Now, before we get started with the meditation, where can people find you at?
Oh, that's a great question, Justin. Thank you so much. Well, it's a social media world. So if you just type in your web browser at Speaking From Source, you'll find our Facebook page there, our Instagram and our TikTok, all of those good things. But the primary way to find information about us is through our website, which is speakingfromsource.com. And there you'll find, all sorts of information about how to book a personal session, when we have our monthly online channelings, which are really accessible for everyone to join, or to learn more about the guides and what's happening through our YouTube videos and our blogs and things like that. So there's lots to do, see, and experience at speakingfromsource.com. And of course, we want you along for the ride with the community as well. So feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel, or join our Facebook, or give us a DM out via Instagram.
Or certainly on the website, sign up for that free weekly email.
Oh, Wisdom Wednesday. That is phenomenal. That's our free gift too. So yeah.
Leslie posts that every week on the server. I know it's Wednesday when I wake up and see that in the feed.
Right. That's real sweet. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's great.
For those of you that are watching, we do have a Hello Alley Discord where it is filled with a bunch of like-minded individuals, people that know a lot about these topics. So if you are experiencing or awakening and you want to talk to somebody, you can definitely come on the Discord.
A whole community of people.
And get support.
Yeah.
For sure.
Awesome. Good plug.
That's really where it's at right now, isn't it?
And you're really seeing the growth of that. This is a time of really exploded awareness. We're going to see many folks awakening, and that's got everything to do with the energies that are coming in. In fact, I think one of the things the guides sometimes allude to, they're never negative, but they have alluded to the fact that we're coming to a place where it is adjust or lose ability to stay functional, really. And so that awakening is becoming less and less of a sort of, oh, wouldn't that be a fun thing to awaken? It is our future as being.
Yeah, and think of everything that comes with a heightened state of consciousness or a heightened awareness. You just are more comfortable in yourself, about who you are. You're more comfortable in your environment, and you've got a support group around you as well that's non-judgmental and there for you. And what better place to be? This is where we're headed and where we're focused on. And so, sharing these messages, watching these videos and joining these communities is really what it's all about.
Yes. And we have that
Absolutely.
space available, so please join us.
And we're looking forward to having some new members there as well.
Great.
So it'll be nice to see some new people in there. So we did have, kind of a pre-meeting, and the consciousness shift is going to be a big part of our list of questions, along with some other important topics that are happening now. So I don't know if we should go over that or if we should just jump right in. What do you think?
We're happy to let the guides talk instead of us. They're the authorities.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yep, we are. We're going to start, just for your listeners, with a small meditation. Again, this is just so that we're all aligned in the energy and can take in that energy. And again, really invite your listeners to enjoy and perhaps even repeat the meditation. You'll pick that up and it'll be recorded for you, because we're finding it has quite a bit of value beyond simply bringing in the guides. But if you don't mind, we will begin that way. So I'm going to ask you all to join me to take 3 deep breaths in and out, in and out, in and out. Allow your breath to simply occur naturally, but really take the attention toward your breath and the air going in and out. Establish that rhythm and feel its alignment with your own heartbeat, the natural free flow of air, the gift given to you as the ability to feed each and every one of your cells with life force itself. As you breathe in, feel that energy going into every cell of your body, feeding, nurturing. And as you exhale, allow out all things that do not serve you at this moment. All apprehensions, all tensions, all distracting thoughts, simply let them float out with your exhalation down to the floor near your feet, allowing them just to rest there. You're always free to pick them back up should you wish, or simply leave them there. Feel that air in and out. Feel the universe's ability to sustain your physical bodies, which house your souls. How important it is to the universe to enable your physical incarnation to accomplish its perfect partnership with your soul for this part of your journey. As we take in this breath, feel the 2 primary energy centers of your body, your crown and your root chakra, open as they receive in the energies of the divine as well as of Earth herself. Feel with your breath your own energies extending down through the floor into the bedrock itself, wrapping around Mother Earth as she holds you and anchors you, making you grounded and secure so that you may explore with us the etheric realm. Feel then the divine, which joins with the energies of Mother Earth and wrap around your heart chakra, right to your very heart, enabling this beautiful collection of both the divine as well as Earth's protection, as above, so below. And now we feel each of your chakra systems opening, allowing in the process of energy as it flows up and down your body. From the root chakra, that beautiful reddish brown light which emerges and your ability always, always as an incarnated being on Earth to be grounded, to be held by Mother Earth at all times while you are in this physical form. Feel then your sacral chakra and a warm orange light which emerges here, your very creative self, your creativity, your creative powers, your ability to create other lives, to create ideas, to create entire cities, should you wish. Feel now from your solar plexus the yellow light which emerges. Hear the seat of your very soul as it lives in this incarnated body. Here is your I am. Here is where your identity lies. Moving to your heart chakra, the green light emerges of compassion. Notice that love is first and foremost empathy and compassion. And this energy center beams its green light out, enabling this incarnation to interact peacefully with all other incarnations, to understand and to empathize, to become in communion with all other beings on this planet and beyond. Now we move to your throat chakra. A beautiful sky blue light emerges from this center. Here, your energy is directed towards expression, your ability to express your groundedness, to express your creativity, to express your identity, to express your compassion, to express all of your ideas and thoughts. And now we move to the third eye, which we allow to shine its indigo light out like a projector, and allowing a full screen, which emerges a doorway, if you will, to the etheric realm. And it is here that we connect to our beautiful guides, your own spirit guides, all of the divine realm. There, projected in front of you, your soul's ability always to visit home at any time you need for this to occur. And so as you look out through this window, see the very light of Source and feel its reflection of your own light, which is fueled from Source's light itself. And feel that alignment and that connection, for it is here in the etheric realm that this is always available to you at all times. We call then in this space for our beautiful guides to come and join us at this etheric table with our friends, to speak to us all about your wisdom and the things that you wish to say to us and communicate to us. We ask that you enable AJ and I to do so clearly and successfully, so that what you are downloading to us can be translated in ways that are meaningful to those who are now listening. We are so grateful for this time together, and we feel our bodies ready to experience this beautiful etheric circle that is now formed.
Greetings, one and all. We are so delighted to have this opportunity for conversation for you today, and indeed for us, because it is an important one. And for you must realize at this period of time that all eyes are upon you. The eyes of the universe are upon you at this critical point as you awaken and step into the totality of who you are, a greater awareness of what it is that makes you who you are. And importantly, at this time, as you come to realize the resources that are available to you on a multitude of levels, which you have so overlooked for so long in your drive towards those things you may consider more commercial. What would you consider more viable? And yet these resources enable important sustenance for you going forward, important resources to draw from, for they mirror the universal energies that can sustain you. Your plants and your animals, for example, offer you important lessons in grounding, an important lesson in cooperation, of sharing space, an important lesson in unconditional love and allowing, important lessons in loyalty and care of one another and care of self. You shall find that these considerations become more and more forward in your mind and more prominent in their importance to you personally.
We will begin with this word that you use, awakening. For awakening is simply a term you have concocted in your limited language. Soon you will not need such words, for you shall download in the blocks as we do. And so, yet as you are still dependent upon language, let us say a word about this word that you choose. A good word, yes, for when you are asleep, you are not aware of what is going on around you. You are busy in a dream, you are elsewhere. And once you awaken, you are forced to contend with what surrounds you, what you call reality. The mix of energies that have been around you at all times, but were not aware. You were not aware of. And so we remind you that by awakening, we are saying to you, you are growing in your awareness. And there are a number of you who this metaphor fits well, for though you are physically awake, you are unaware of what is surrounding you. And it is this that we talk about with awakening, and most importantly, with consciousness. For consciousness is another term that you use quite often, often without meaning. It simply means this heightened awareness, this ability to see and to feel and to know things that were previously hidden from you, not because they were hidden, but because you were unable to see them.
And now you step into this period of awakening, which also means you are able to receive, or you have been very good transmitters, very good at broadcasting your feelings and your emotions, your likes and dislikes. And yet increasingly, as you ground to Mother Earth, as you interact with others, it will be an important time for you to develop the abilities to receive, not just with your eyes or your ears, but through your third eye and through the energy centers located throughout your body and throughout the planet.
And just in time, for what is coming to your planet now is so very exciting. For as you are feeling the energies that are coming down to you, you must realize this is not just another odd and natural event, but it is perfectly timed and has been occurring for a while and shall continue to intensify for this very opportunity of awakening. But the question is, awakening to what? awakening to what shall you find? What is in the consciousness that it is you need to realize? And we are saying to you, the universe is connecting to you, your civilization, your planet itself, as your planet is going through a critical transition, an important transition, what some of you call the new earth, and yet it is not new at all. It shall feel new to you, however. It shall feel different to you. And we are suggesting to you the need for pure consciousness, for these changes are difficult when you are asleep. Yes, imagine as everything around you changes and you are unaware of what those causes are and what is happening. This is why we and so many others are here, to help guide you, to help see you through this important transition. We are excited for you and all that you will soon encounter. And yet we must tell you that this is not an easy road. We must remind you that in order for things to be new, the old must tear away. There is always a releasing when there is more to come in. And this process is across the universe, that much has to be let go of in order for the capacity for what is new that is emerging. And so we will remind you that it should not surprise you that there are things, attitudes, stories that you tell. We speak often of the stories that you tell based upon your beliefs, that now as you awaken, you realize do not serve you well, and therefore they must be released. Oh, easier said than done. Yes, easier said than done. For some you have developed quite a romance with. They have entertained many as you've told these stories. And now there is new stories to tell only when the old have been released.
Indeed, there is much we wish to share with you, and yet we wish to connect with your vibrations and your intentions through your questionings, and open to you for such at this time.
Wow, I just wanted to, first of all, thank the guides for coming through. We definitely appreciate you being here and sharing your wisdom and your energy with us and with our audience, and essentially with the whole collective. So my question to you is, what do you guys say about the current consciousness shift in terms of how it's going to impact our everyday life and then the collective human experience as a whole?
What we have told you is exactly what you should expect. Okay. That new will come in only after old has been released. We often use the analogy of the floor dropping out from underneath you. Not a pleasant experience, and yet important, for if you know there is a new floor underneath, sturdier, steadier, of greater comfort, then you are happy to allow the floor to drop. And yet at the moment, it is difficult for you and easy for you to fall to fear, easy for you to believe my floor has collapsed, and therefore I have nothing to stand on. I have nothing to rely upon. You have not yet seen the new floor. It is there, but it takes time for you to see and to feel and to recognize. Should you know ahead, it is more difficult for you to accept it. And so we say to you, do not be surprised when it is difficult for you to release, that the energy surrounding you, the universe itself, shall release for you and shall create circumstances in your life, has already created for you each circumstances in your life that have taken from you, not to punish you, not to harm you, not to bring you to fear, but because the something better is ready for you, and you are now ready for it. You have outgrown the old floor, and the new one is ready for you. And though you hold dearly to the old floor, your old friend, it is taken from you, and only because you are ready for the new.
We remind you that this awakening you speak of does not happen to you, but happens through you. It is a natural process of co-creation of your evolution, so to speak. And so in the floor dropping beneath, you must always be aware that you are a divine aspect of source consciousness. You are held so dearly by source, and that there are always resources you can utilize to better understand yourself and your environment and your circumstance. And it is important, therefore, to always return to the divine connection of who you are, that there is always a light, so to speak, at the end of the tunnel, and to move toward that, to not focus on what is wrong, not focus on what is broken, not focus on what is lost, but instead to, like a blank canvas, boldly take new colors and make new brushstrokes of creation to that which is closest to your heart.
You see now why we begin always reminding you how deeply you are adored by Source. For at these moments when great change occurs and you wish to feel insecure, then these are the perfect times to remember, but the universe adores me. Source adores me, would not harm me. There must be something better. There must be a new floor underneath. And then you have participated in your own evolution. You have brought about the change of consciousness that is waiting for you. This is what we mean when we say to you that it happens through you and not to you. In other words, you need not sit back and wait, but you have the most important power of intention. And so we ask you to consider, what is the new floor that you wish for your own lives, for your own selves, and for the entire planet? What kind of new floor are you looking for? And your intentions matter a great amount. This is why it is so important for all of you in your consciousness to begin by recognizing your thoughts, your beliefs, and the stories that you tell, for these may be impeding on your intentions. These must be aligned for them to work well. So the work that you do to align yourself with Source, and to realize how much Source adores you, plays such an important role as the consciousness continues to change across your planet. We say this to you purposefully, for without this awareness, without this recognition of who and what you are, how you were created, and the powerful energies of your intentions, you become victims to fear. Your stories grow more and more negative, and you begin to believe that the world around you is simply falling apart. It shall feel such for many. So very important then for all of you to remind along with us that each and every soul is adored, and that the new is approaching.
I'm here for it.
I had a question. I'm very curious about the the role that the sun and the earth, and I'm sure other planets, obviously really affect us here on Earth and just the whole everything. But the Schumann resonance and the solar activities and the is it CMEs is what they're called, and all the different stuff going on. Like what does that have any role or significant impact on the consciousness shift that we're experiencing? And is it part of it? Or is
We
it
have
just
much to say about this. We are excited to hear this question.
Good.
We will begin by reminding you that source, as we have said, is light. And therefore, the light source is imitated across the universe in this specific reality. It is your sun. And so it is the energies of the sun that are creating the transformations, not just to you, but far more importantly, to your very planet itself. And this is occurring through the solar storms. And this is occurring through a variety of energetic waves. We remind you, it is all energy. It is all energetic. And therefore, it is most important for you to recognize that these energies are at work and are working not just on you, but are working on your planet as well. Remember, first, to create a release, and then to create the new and better and greater.
Indeed, everything is consciousness in what you would consider the realm of your solar system and your planets and such. And you shall learn to develop new understandings and new relationships with them as a result. For many of your ancients had an ability to interact with the sun and the moon and the cycles, and this shall again come forward into prominence. We say there is nothing to fear, yet much to learn. For as you stare upon the heavens, as you open up to the energies of the healing rays of the sun, you also open up to the vast wisdom that is consciousness itself.
And now let us speak of the planets, for we love to have this conversation with you. For notice that all your planets align and connected, and are connected in their alignments are in fact cooperative. We say this for all of these changes require each of the planets across not just the solar system, but all of the many galaxies to align in perfect ways in order for different changes to occur, in order for each soul to be able to find its connection. And therefore, note your astrology, which is telling you and showing you in ways that it has never shown you before, alignments that have not been seen, alignments which bring about these very changes. Again, not to fear, but to emulate. We shall say more. We are going to say to you that as consciousness happens through you, as ascension happens through you, that part of this is your willingness to begin to live cooperatively, like the planets themselves, for you are designed in the same way. You are designed to recognize that the movement of one affects the movement of all, and that in fact it is the alignment where you are and where the other is, whoever the other may be, is what is more important than your position or their position. And therefore, part of your consciousness that you shall find and discover very quickly is, in fact, some of you already have discovered, is this important element of cooperation. Many of you think of cooperation as an exchange, as an interchange. I do this, and therefore you do that. What we are speaking of, like the planets, is that my alignment, my position is conscious and aware of yours, and is recognizing how when we work cooperatively, we are able to create great things. This is what your planets are doing. This is what you must do.
Indeed, a perfect analogy. This is what you may term on earth as affinity, much more than being of like mind. It is being also of like energy, like intention, like body, a certain resonance which you are attracted to, which others are attracted to, in order to form cooperative movements, so to speak. This for you is what awakening and the new consciousness looks like. For yes, there will be some who shall run around unconsciously, so to speak, taking random action and reaction, and yet there are those that will learn to become still, to look for the light, to look toward the cooperative and the affinity and the resonance therein, to achieve new and greater things.
One more reminder that all of this represents a set of conditions that make for the opportunity. And yet, as we have said, it happens through you, through your intention, for nothing is written in stone. It is all waiting for you. In fact, it has been waiting for you for some time. And as you align, it aligns. As you begin this small process of awakening, for it comes in degrees, it comes in stages, that you are therefore able to imagine what it is that you wish and what it is that you want this planet to become. This alignment has only set conditions, the arrangement of the planets, and not just the planets, of the stars, of the galaxies themselves. These are all cooperative and all setting conditions. And yet what is produced from those conditions, this lives with you.
I had a question about limiting beliefs. It's coincidental that you mentioned it in your introduction as you started speaking. I wanted to know, as we slowly ripple effect doing our internal work, we ripple effect conscious expansion with whoever we come in contact, what are some of the most stubborn beliefs, that limiting stubborn beliefs that we will come across that will prove to be the most challenging?
The first and foremost is that you are separate from one another. This belief, more than all others, lives at the source of much of your sorrow and much of your conflict. That I am separate from you, that we are not the same, and therefore I am able to judge you. I am able to withhold from you. I realize or believe that I do not need you, and therefore cannot cooperate with you. For if I find no value to you, then there is no platform for cooperation. This, above all, is the source of many of your civilization's problems. And the first that the universe is trying to help you release. And how do you do this? You do this by remembering the truth, and you do have this in your knowledge. It is simply a matter of remembering. We all come from one source. There is only one universal mind, and we are all a part of it. We together make up a brilliant diamond whose beauty is only seen in each of our facets shining together. And so, therefore, we suggest this above all other limiting beliefs. And note that all other beliefs come from it. My conditions are worse than yours. My conditions are better than yours. I am more worthy than you. I am more conscious than you. We are seeing now those of you who have been awakened for a while comparing notes and saying, oh, my consciousness is further grown than yours, which does not serve you or any other. And so we begin here. You are not separate. And the sooner that you are able to adopt the reality that we are all connected, we as well as you together, all of the universe is connected. Each of your intergalactic brothers and sisters are as connected to you as your next door neighbor, as your best friend, as your romantic partner. All of these connections are critical for you to begin a new cooperative Earth.
There are a great many possibilities waiting for you in this new understanding, this new sharing, as it were, understanding that each of us is a unique aspect of source consciousness. And so the other aspect to overcome is the desire to be responsible for changing others, believing that your position is the correct position, or that you wish to rescue or save another's consciousness, so to speak. For there is only expression, there is only the opportunity to shine one's own light, and so there is the invitation therein to recognize the divinity in everything and everyone in of its own unique way.
And so we suggest the replacement of feelings of being separated from, which at times feels like I am better, at times feels as if I am worse, often feels as if I am alone. To replace this with I am connected, I am part of, I am an important facet in the diamond. And as I shine, as I encourage all the facets to shine, then together we shine brightly.
And we return to the notion that there are many current examples already upon your earth which illustrate this again in your ecology, the plants and the animals upon your planet. And furthermore, connecting with your guides, ascended masters, loved ones, and your brothers and sisters in the multi-dimensional and extraterrestrial realms, all sharing, all connecting together, unique and yet part of the same, you see?
Thank you. That was a beautiful answer and something I will cherish. Thank you.
I have a question. What's something that's very important that we should be doing that most people probably are not doing?
Collaboration, cooperation. We shall say it again. We shall say it as often as we must, with great love to you. For there is nothing greater that you can do than to look upon the other beings, as well as the other plants and animals, beings as well, not just humans, and to see the opportunities to work cooperatively. What does this mean? It means every time you have an opportunity to create a cooperative movement, even only in your mind, even only in your saying, I see you, I recognize you are operating out of a need, perhaps even unconsciously. You are behaving in ways we remind Thomas and AJ often as they are driving, we put a very rude driver around them on the highway. And we do so on purpose to remind them this is part of your connected humanity. This individual who's convinced that they must go faster than the rest, that they must cut you off in traffic than the others, if only for glee. And therefore, we can understand them. And in doing so, we can add empathy. And in doing so, we begin the energies of cooperation. This is the most important for each of you to do. And we shall say again, it is a challenge for you. It is harder than it looks. It takes attention. For you, it takes consciousness.
An opening of the heart, an opening to the higher vibrations, the higher realms in your simple gestures, in your simple offerings, even if it may be with your eye contact or a smile or a hug or a listening ear, or simply being in the presence of another when they need company. For these aspects allow for the higher vibrations to come forward and thereby to be reciprocated. Such an important lesson, this aspect of cooperation and codependence that is necessary for your evolution at this time.
Now let us connect to what we have said earlier, for the floor will drop. For many who are unable to even recognize the need for cooperation, and your planet's shell, in collaboration, in cooperation with the universe, your planet shall create changes that will force you to cooperate in order to survive, whether it be to find food source or whether it to be to find ways to live in changing conditions. This already is beginning for you, as you are facing what you are calling climate change. We see this as the universe beginning now to create conditions for you to choose whether you shall be a cooperative component or you shall strive to do this on your own, though we know the end of this story.
I'm really resonating on the idea of cooperation and working in collaboration, not only with each other as human beings on this planet, but as species that are alive and conscious here, right? So I'm thinking of like the animal life and the plant life. And I guess ultimately there's a recent event that has been brought to my attention that I want to ask you your opinions on. We've seen a large number of groups of whales getting together and beaching themselves, large number of dolphins that are getting together and beaching themselves. And then I've even seen a large number of jellyfish that have washed up on shores in large amounts. So I'm wondering, A, the empathetic part of me is like, what's wrong? How can I help? And then B, like, how can we work more with the animals and listen to what they need and what their needs are, not just us and ourselves and humans, but like, I really want to wrap this around of collaboration, not just with humans, but with every living creature on the planet, plants, animals, fish included, all of it.
Yes, but we will suggest that the stories that you tell, again, fashioned over centuries, really, about what these animals are to you, and you're wishing for them to exist for your own goodness, for your own conditionality. And notice that these animals are not usually your food sources. These animals are animals that have symbolic realities. These animals are also animals connected across the universe and represent far more than what is Earth's bounty. For much of Earth's bounty comes from the rest of the galaxy, and these species are no different. And so we suggest a different story, the story that these things that we love, these things that symbolize peace and spirituality, often with dolphins and whales at least, that these things must not die, for their dying is wrong and is bad. Their dying indicates something that we have done wrong. What we are suggesting is a different story that says these species are making an important transition themselves, for they are not depleted. They are not gone from your planet, and many continue to thrive. They too are making a set of choices It is good for you to observe them, good for you to ask questions about what it is that they know, that you do not, what it is that they understand, that you do not, but you need not fear that you are losing these species forever. You may recognize the collective effort to thin themselves as changes occur. Nothing for you to be concerned of, but also careful of the stories that you tell, for it is easy for you to create a situation that feels in this story as if you are headed towards destruction. This is not their intent.
Again, notice the cooperative element here in these species and in their decisions, for everything is evolving and there is never an ending and a termination, so to speak, but a continual advancement. There is no soul that is ever lost in its physical death, for it transmutes and evolves, and the consciousness continues the journey, so to speak. And so we return to the aspect of Earth as a great mirror, for there is consciousness in the larger universe, in its cooperative elements. It is how the universe maintains its structure. It is how all knowledge is coordinated and presented. And so you are simply seeing on Earth the mirror find its focus, so to speak.
We shall be slightly more specific, though we do not wish for you to go to fear. The mirror is what shall happen to your own species as you start to watch individuals that have already seen through a number of disasters, individuals that are no longer remaining on this planet, that choose, in essence, to beach themselves. This happens among your humanity as well, and yet the same is true. They are showing you that there are many more that are able to survive and to thrive. And so it is important for you, as you see your own population making choices, some who will not be able to handle the transitions of energies, some who are unable to feel as if they are able to live within fifth dimensional consciousness, where you are able to see and feel so very much more than you are able to perceive now. There are those who will instead choose to end this incarnation, just as those whales and dolphins and other creatures are doing so. You shall see. This does not mean we are doomed. Species are doomed. This does not mean anything but there is transition, and in transition always is choice. This is why we speak of intention as intensely as we do.
Thank you.
Well, another thing we're very curious about with this consciousness shift, which seems to coincide with disclosure and contact with extraterrestrial or interdimensional beings. And so we are wondering what we should expect regarding open contact with extraterrestrial and interdimensional beings.
We wish to have you pay close attention here, for everything we have spoken of is true as well. Humanity believing they are separate and therefore different. And we wish to say to you, oh, you have not seen different yet. You have not seen great diversity of life forms, as you shall see as members of the galaxies, not all, but some select members of galaxies, other civilizations, come around you, have always been around you, yet hidden. Hidden, why? Because of your own inability to recognize and to embrace those things that are not like you, that are different from you, not only physically, but spiritually. For you will soon encounter beings that shall put humans to shame in their consciousness, not to shame you, no. We are merely joking of this. What we are suggesting is that, in fact, there are beings who you may learn from. There are beings that you will teach. There are beings at their own levels of consciousness ready to collaborate with you, to cooperate with you. And yet your greatest challenge will be not to shoot them out of the sky, for they are different and they cause fear. It is important for you and all of you who are ready for these interactions to recognize the danger that sits ahead of these civilizations who wish to make contact for you. For they are blown out of the sky regularly by your government, which chooses to use this as a way to justify wars. And so we would say to you, it is important that you maintain a cooperative spirit with them, welcoming them and preparing others around you, not to be afraid, but to embrace these as also creations of Source.
And so you see again with the mirror analogy, as you work more upon aligning your energy centers, learning to have the cooperation occurring within your physical body for optimum wellness, for positivity through your creative manifestations and intentions, and working together with your brothers and sisters, how this opens doors for us to come through to you as we are coming through to you right now, for you to know us as you are beginning to know us right now. And then moreover, for us to interact with you physically, side by side, as it were. So you have the ability to experience us as you have the ability to experience other things on your planet, not with hostility, not with fear, not with skepticism or disbelief, which only furthers to keep us at arm's distance, separate, so to speak. But with these cooperative elements of your energy centers, which attract and bring us closer as our objectives are aligned, we are all striving toward the same objective.
Consider a family reunion, but now not possible, for the family is in conflict rather than in loving anticipation of meeting the rest of the family. Many of you are starseeds now. You are aware of this, yes?
Yes. Yes.
Not so distant, this family, not so distant.
And with this awakening, with this awareness, you shall find more of the cooperative elements that are found in us and in you. And again, realize that you are not so separate. This shall be a great revolution of understanding for you on your planet, and upon this understanding, it shall enable great inroads for you as you develop and create new for your planet and its people?
Many contributions for you, and the problems as you see them that are emerging, these have gone on for quite some time. Not just technology, but also spirituality and a consciousness that is assisting you and shall assist you through this tunnel that we have been speaking of. This is not cooperation for the sake of cooperation. This is not a union that is simply there for your pleasure and for your entertainment. This is a part of your survival. Your brothers and sisters are there to assist you through these bumpy roads.
My
Thank
question
you.
was around, and I don't know if this is a viable question, because I know that time is only relevant here in our current life and not really beyond here. But if we had to look ahead and sort of give a percentage of humanity's expanding consciousness over time as we experience it here on Earth, is there a way to describe what 2030 would look like, 2040 would look like?
New. We shall use the word new. It shall look nothing like it looks now. We mean this sincerely, for you are learning that many of the systems that you have created, when we speak of letting go, we were not kidding. When you recognize many of the systems, the ways in which you exchange goods and services, the ways in which you build communities, the ways in which you govern one another. When you see that these are not serving you, they shall be replaced and shall feel quite different from what you are seeing now. For there are civilizations in your galaxy and in other galaxies that have different systems that they shall teach you, the different ways of doing things, and yet the challenge for you is holding dear that which you love and allowing, therefore, the floor to drop when it must, so that you are able to release these things, how your government is created and operates, how, in fact, your marketplace and your economy is created, how you treat the physical body and medicine itself. So very many of these things shall feel transformed for you. And therefore, we would say the easiest word is new. And the question becomes, what is it that you wish for? For nothing is firm without your intention. What would you like to see in how we care for your physical bodies, which do have their challenges as they live within an environment like Earth? What is your economy? What is your government? And what do you wish for it to be? Begin with the simplest of terms. Begin with an understanding of cooperation, of adoration, of love, of empathy that we have spoken of, and imagine what that system might look like. A perfect balance then is possible for you. As you imagine it, you create it.
There are those that will come together, again, cooperatively on any number of issues you choose to speak upon to create a new, for it is a futile task putting on the old pair of pants that are too small. The only option is to create a new pair of pants that are much better suited to your ability to wear them on your physical body, much more functional and allowing for you to undertake your expeditions. These things shall become more self-evident for you as you desire to gravitate toward creating and enjoying the new that is available to you. For you must understand now that all things are possible for you to create and enjoy.
Yet, as we have said, there is a tunnel. And therefore, it is important for you to remember that there is the end of the tunnel. And yet it is a long tunnel, so you must focus on the light ahead. Must focus on the changes and improvements that you yourself dreamed of, and that you yourself have helped to create and helped to contribute to as a cooperative component yourself. And therefore, what shall the future look like for you? It shall resolve itself in time, and this you must remember. The new is coming to us, and the new is from us, and therefore all that we wish for it to be, for all of humanity and all of the beings on earth, to fully embrace and enjoy.
What's one way that we can best support each other during this time of significant change?
We remind you of your heart chakra. In fact, each of your chakras, which work collaboratively themselves, which work cooperatively, for no individual chakras should outbalance the others, but they work collaboratively to keep your energy strong. And yet, it is easy for your heart chakra to lose its intense ability to empathize with one another. Always begin here. Always begin by seeking to understand the other, rather than to assign the worst in their motives, as you humans often do. As you say, oh, she must be out to get me, rather than, oh, she is having a terrible day. She is having difficulty, and it has created for her an emotional distress that she cannot help but take out on those around me. And suddenly notice how the energy shifts when you do this, when rather than assign a negative motive, which only creates retribution, that instead you create empathy. And in doing so, this coming from your heart chakra, let me say this again to you. It is so important that we express to you that this is inborn within you. You are equipped for this. It is not far from you. It is a part of your system. You must massage and exercise it, yes. And you do so every time you allow yourself to find empathy in a situation that is difficult for you to understand, to instead assume that there is more going on than someone out to hurt you, and that you must defend yourself from or hurt back. This is your very best first step.
And so we are saying a gentle allowing is what is required. A gentle opening up and allowing to receive and to process all that you are receiving and processing, and let that sit within your higher realms, your higher vibrations, for then you shall understand more about your circumstances and your conditions and be better equipped to move forward. This aspect of allowing, of course, you most often refer to as empathy, and yet it should be applied equally to others as you apply it to yourself as well.
I am an eternal soul. I am a creative force. I am fully grounded by Mother Earth. I am adored by Source. All of these things cooperatively enable your empathy and your allowing.
We wish to take an additional question.
I can.
Yep.
I have one. If I don't want to, if Allie or if anybody else has one,
Go ahead.
I think I've asked a couple of questions, but
Yeah, no, you're okay.
Are there any specific timelines or major events or milestones that we should look forward to in this process of the open contact, disclosure, and consciousness shift?
They are well underway, yes. You are aware they are well underway. And yet, what is holding up the meeting that you have imagined in your mind you shall have? The landing you often speak of, where out come one of these intergalactic family members who says, "Take me to your leader." And from there, the television cameras roll, and you are now in disclosure. You can hear this story, which does not hold much promise for you, for it does not serve you well. Instead, we would recommend that this contact is as personal and individual as each of you have within your spirit family, your own intergalactic family, which are in contact with you now. In fact, this is their form of contact. They shall communicate with you telepathically. They are attempting to speak to you now and to many others. It is important for you to learn who they are and what they are and what is important to them, for they are willing to share with you, and yet it shall not come in a press conference. It shall come in a quiet meditation as you invite them in to commune with you as you commune with Source, setting the perfect conditions for safe interaction with you. Contact is first and foremost personal, far more than it is an event.
And so we say to you, keep your eyes and ears and hearts open, for we are interacting with you in larger and larger numbers, and you shall soon start to see the evidence of this in the collective, and before long, the reality of what you would consider the impossible will become possible for you have experienced it and known it yourself, and therein you are much better equipped, much greater aligned to the opportunity of this new earth and this extended level of cooperation and consciousness that it contains.
Do you hear the difference in what we are suggesting to you? We are saying to you, as more and more of you see spaceships in the sky, to no longer ask, is that a spaceship? Is that a UFO? Are they now coming to us? Are they present to us? It is not important that you see a ship in the sky. We would much rather you asked, who is inside? And what is it that they have to teach me and I have to offer to them? What is it in the relationship with those beings? For they are not interested in showing you their spaceship. They are interested in their relationship with you. For many, not all, many of them understand as well of you being family, of your DNA in them and them in you. They are aware of similarities, not all, There are some who are in a level of consciousness where they are still seeking conquest, not unlike your own civilization. Yet you have many friends. We would encourage you to not spend as much attention on spaceships in the sky, for of course you shall see more, many which are hidden, for you are blowing them out of the sky. So they remain hidden. It is not the spaceship that is important. It is the being inside.
What a beautiful message to conclude with you, that the thing that is of most important is your innermost being, for that is what connects us. That is what makes up the great light that is within you and within us and within Source itself. This is where you shall find your solace, your nourishment, and the wisdom of the ages. And it is this which you are learning to bring forward into your consciousness, into your energetic centers, and to share with your brothers and sisters as you expand and evolve into this aspect you call fifth dimensional consciousness.
Stay in your core, we shall remind you often with love. Remember that you are adored by Source, that you are a creation of the universe, that you share much with the rest of the universe. And therefore, your future is always bright, always all things working for your greatest and highest good. We encourage you to hold to this, to remind each other of this, and to recognize the beautiful light that is available within you to shine out. Every time you choose to cooperate, you make the choice more possible for all the individuals around you. You are so deeply adored. Always hold to this, for this is most important to you, for your future is bright. And with this, we are complete.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, hard to let go of that.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Did you feel that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I always have to
That was
ask.
great.
It's so lovely to be part of that. And, just a reminder, our story about that is that when we channeled just to ourselves, found we couldn't leave. We just couldn't get out. It felt so darn good. And it felt like a hug. And so we asked them, will you do that every time you channel, even if other people are there? And they've said yes. And I think they love to do that because it's all about love.
Yeah.
Really just kind of all about love. So
They did something very interesting with this hug, actually, as they were doing it for you and those that are listening. My consciousness zoomed out and they focused that hug on the whole planet, which
I
was
love
very
that.
interesting, very interesting. And so, a lot of what their messages were about were for the planet overall. And I think that they really want everyone to understand how important, not just you are, but how important you are on the planet at this time, how you are consciously making all of this energy shift and this energy change, and what special individuals you are to be keepers of the light here on Gaia, Mother Earth.
we've been learning a lot about consciousness and choice and how they're connected. So you see individuals who aren't very conscious who really believe they're in a blind alley, or who make choices where they say, I can't help it, right? It's my destiny, or it has to be this way, and I had to do this, or I had to do that. There's no had to. And the more conscious you are, the more aware you are of all the choices that are available to you. And so, and you're aware that no choice is permanent, that there's always another choice to make.
Yes.
So I think it's interesting that those things are connected. And so it's important for, they didn't say it today. They often call people like you all, that sounds awful, but that you know what I mean, my friend.
Yeah.
They often say you are sentinels. And we've asked them many times to explain that. And what they mean by that is you're set up ahead.
Oh,
that's a really important position for all your listeners that are more conscious than the masses yet, right? You're one step ahead. And that means your choices really matter.
Yeah.
Your light matters because others are coming behind you.
Yeah. But it also means how important it is to, if you're one step ahead, how important it is to have a compassionate heart. Just like a parent to a child is one step ahead, and when you think of all of those roles and those role models that, a leader or a caregiver gives, that changes lives.
They always give me an image that I don't know how to put into words, and I don't know that I'm supposed to because they don't tell me to, but I always get the image when we talk about this, that when we make these conscious choices, it's like all of a sudden cells dividing, and it happens in multiplicities, that there's some power that we have that really guides the rest of the planet. In other words, our energies, like kindness is probably the best thing we think about as humans, how kindness spreads, how it's really infective.
It's contagious, right?
Contagious, that's the word.
You're welcome.
But that's what I'm after. So that there is this kind of multiplying effort, and why I think it's so important that we start the ball rolling. We're not waiting for others, because there's no waiting. The floor will just drop if you wait too long.
Right. And I think it's super synchronistic that the name of our show is Living Life Consciously, because I was just guided to use that phrase, and it's consistently been present in every piece of content that we make. So thank you for kind of validating that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, we're very much honored to share the insight of the guides with you and your audience.
Thank you so much.
Very well aligned.
Very grateful.
Very well aligned. Yes, indeed.
We are super appreciative to have both of you and the guides on the show. So thank you once again so very, very much for staying in touch with us, for being on the server, for sharing your time with us, and for instilling this knowledge onto our audience. It's not just a private conversation we're keeping to ourselves. The intent of doing it this way is so that everybody in the audience can be that ripple effect, and then, keep this wave going. So let's do it together.
We've had the opportunity to, meet privately with the guides through their, I forget the name of what you do. You can say it again if you want.
Conversations with Source?
Yeah.
Our monthly channeling session.
So, which is wonderful. So I highly recommend that to anybody who would be interested in,
a little bit more private, a little more shared, where people can really sort of talk about whatever they want to talk about. It's really been a lovely, and they love it. The guides love it. They get all excited. They wake us up early in the morning that day, and they're kind of like,
let's go. We're ready.
Yeah.
Well, and they love your personal questions as well. The guides often give a big picture view of what's going on, but a lot of people select joining conversations with Source in a small group, or having a private one-on-one reading, so they can ask of the guides personal questions to help them break through barriers and understand their environment and what's going on right now.
But you all are just old family, and we just love being around you and love spending time with you.
So thank you so much. We love you guys too. Absolutely. And for our audience, we will have the links to all of their websites and YouTube channels and all the ways that you can get in touch with them in the video description box below. So please make sure to check that out. And if you're still here, please do us a favor and smash that like button, click subscribe, ring our little notification bell, drop a lovely comment down below, and share this video with your family and friends to help us spread the good word.
Here.
Thank you guys so much. Here we go.
Thank you.
Much love. Peace.
Thank you. you.
And namaste.
And namaste.